Hello and happy Eclipse Day. You are listening to Pale Blue Pod, and I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Moiya McTier. Corinne and I are both traveling to see today's total solar eclipse. We are going to be recording an episode about this great North American eclipse of 2024, and it will come out in a few weeks. But for now, we thought it would be a great idea to have you re-listen to one of our very early episodes where we explain how eclipses work, just to get you prepared for today. Because even if you are not in the path of totality, even if you are not in North America and you can see a partial eclipse, an eclipse is going to come your way one day. So sit back, relax, and enjoy one of our old episodes, the 4th episode we ever made. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pale Blue Pod, the weekly astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend.
Aw, I'm Corinne Caputo. I'm a comedian and writer and space enthusiast.
Yeah, you are. And I am Dr. Moiya McTier, an astrophysicist and folklorist and wannabe space enthusiast. It's hard when I know so much about the universe.
Yeah, you just know too much. And especially when you're graded and tested on it, I'm sure it takes the fun out.
Yes, I have been. I've been graded and tested out of my love for astronomy. But Corinne, where are we recording this episode today?
We're in a cabin in the woods, but it's not creepy. I want to emphasize that it's not a creepy cabin. It's one of those cabins that's like Scandinavian interior a little, and there's flannel, and it's fun, and you can walk to town if you needed to, which is why it's not scary. And it's cold, but the fire's roaring. And there's cider mulling on the stove.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this cider. It already smells delicious, but I can't wait to taste. And you're right.
It's good.
The thing that makes a log cabin in the woods, you didn't specify log, I'm just adding. The thing that makes a cabin in the woods scary is the isolation. So if you can walk to town, if you can walk to your conveniences, then it's not as scary.
It's just the illusion. Yeah, it's the illusion of being cozy and isolated, but the knowledge of knowing there's someone nearby.
I always said growing up, I grew up in a log cabin in the woods, and it was scary because I couldn't walk to town. I always grew up saying that I never wanted to live in another place where no one could hear me scream.
Oh my God. That is... Okay, I was thinking of this the other day. Someone who grows up in what I deem a scary place like that, a spooky place, I guess. Are you taught to fear it by like culture and media, or is that...
Oh...
Was it inherently scary?
Yes.
Yeah. Like you wouldn't have been scared if no one had told you.
Well, no, I think you would be scared because the reason the media teaches you that those places are scary is because they're scary. Yeah. So if you live in the middle of the woods and you go out at night, you're going to hear the weird noises. You're going to hear the cracking branches and you're going to smell the weird smells. If you happen to grow up in Greene County, Pennsylvania, in the woods of Oak Forest, the children around you will tell you nightmarish stories about the legendary nipple biter.
Oh my God.
That's scary.
That's like, okay, that sounds like Barbarian in a way, which you should see.
I never ran into the nipple biter.
Okay, I'm desperate to know about this. Is it a person who comes into your house?
No. Well, so again, never ran into them. The story that I heard, the reason that other kids told me not to go into the woods at night was that there was this like man roaming around in the woods who, if he found you, would bite your nipples.
He would get close enough to bite your nipple and not do anything else.
I guess not.
Is the strangest. I mean, at that point, it's kind of like, okay, we both know what we have to do. Let's go.
Like, I don't know if the nipple biting was a precursor to more nefarious deeds, but either way, just that alone is scary enough.
Yeah, that is so specific and not violent enough that it's not like something I've heard before, if that makes sense. Like, it's just so specific and strange.
Yeah.
That
it's in the uncanny valley of scariness. Yeah.
It's almost the worst case scenario.
Oh, dear listeners.
Well, anyway, speaking of night.
Yeah, speaking of night, I guarantee this episode is not all about the nipple biter. Instead, we are here to have this cozy conversation in our cabin in the woods all about eclipses.
Yes. I remember the last eclipse that we had, or the one that was like kind of over New York City.
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you ever seen an eclipse?
It was like the partial, like we were in the partial view, I guess, because it didn't get fully dark at all. And the way we were able to notice it was we had like, we were on a roof in some Greenpoint, like co-working building. And I had like a spaghetti strainer, like colander. And if the shadow of it, like you could tell that all the circles typically would have been like a circle shadow or like half moon.
I love that trick because you are not supposed to look directly at a solar eclipse. Like, we're just going to say that right now at the top of the episode. Do not look at a solar eclipse.
Unless you're President Trump, who did.
And I wish he had for more time.
Yeah, just a couple more seconds.
I wish he'd had a staring contest with that thing. Yeah, but that strainer trick, though, is really cool because it lets you see at least the shape of the eclipse without looking right at it. It's good to have on hand if you do not have official eclipse glasses that make it safe to look at the sun during an eclipse. So yeah, keep your strainers in mind. Those common household objects can be used for science.
Yeah, it was very funny to walk around with that because it's not an item I've taken outside the home before. And like it certainly didn't have like a purse big enough for it.
Right, so you're just walking around with this big old strainer in your hand.
Spaghetti strainer.
Great. But other people, I'm sure, were also walking around with weird objects that day.
They must have been. Yeah.
And also, who cares?
And in New York?
Who cares? We live on this tiny little rock. Like, why be ashamed of anything?
Yeah, why be self-conscious?
I have seen 2 eclipses. One of them was just last week. It was the most recent total lunar eclipse. So in this episode, we're talking about both solar and lunar eclipses. And it was a really nice moment because it was like 5:30 a.m. I set my alarm to get up in time to go up on my roof. And it's so cold and it's so early. And of course, my building decided to have all the fairy lights on. I was really mad. But as I was standing there watching the eclipse, 2 of my neighbors who live in my building, who I've never met, they came up to also watch the eclipse. And then they like just started asking questions. Not to me specifically, just like, I wonder how that works, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then I answered them. And then they were like, oh, well, how do you know?
Yeah. And then you get to be like, oh, well, I'm a bit of an expert.
You're like, oh, I'm like literally a doctor of the universe.
Yeah.
And then both of those people bought my book before the eclipse was over.
That's so cute.
I know. They were so nice. I hope I see them again at the next total solar eclipse.
You'll see them on the roof. Yeah.
I won't because I will not be living in this building for the next total lunar eclipse. You'll hear why by the end of the episode.
I can't wait.
So that is my lunar eclipse story. My solar eclipse story is even more fun, although you will see similar themes. So in 2017, there was a total solar eclipse whose path of totality was going to cross the U.S., going from the northwest down to the southeast, passing through Nashville, Tennessee. And I was a young grad student, still very much in love with space, and I was like, I'm gonna go see this eclipse. So I did. I booked a ticket. I went down to Nashville to see the eclipse, got there a day early, and decided to go out, have a night on the town before the total solar eclipse. So I did. I went to this little like honky-tonk bar in downtown Nashville with like literal hay on the floor where people were square dancing. It was amazing.
I think I've been to this bar. I went to Nashville once, and we also went to like some honky-tonk bar, and I had a perfectly medium time, but it seems like you had a lot more fun.
Oh my God, Corinne, I think about this day so often.
I love this.
So I walk into this bar. There's nowhere to sit, but there is standing room at this tall table surrounded by old white dudes. So I go up because it's the only place where there is literal space for my body. And we start talking and they're like, oh, are you in Nashville for the eclipse? And I'm like, yeah. And actually, I'm an astrophysicist.
This time you just dropped it. You didn't
I did. I wasn't as coy back then.
Yeah.
So I tell these men, they're in like their 40s and 50s, that I'm an astrophysicist. They immediately start like hounding me with questions and plying me with moonshine. So over the course of the night, my explanations get more and more ridiculous and very slurred. It was my first time having moonshine. And I ended the night dancing with like 3 of those men at the same time, just all having a great time on the dance floor, drunk on moonshine and in love with space.
I love this. Wait, were they in town for the eclipse?
No, they lived there.
They live there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious what it's like to go to a bar like that when you are a local and not a tourist.
Yeah.
But it seems like they had, it works out for them. They get they get to meet experts and ask them all their questions.
Yeah. I mean, you must have had some experience like that living in New York.
I mean, I did go to, the Times Square Red Lobster once. So that's got to be the same thing.
It must be, because everyone there is a tourist.
There's no way we're all locals.
So that's my eclipse story. I think about those old white men. I only remember that one of them, and I don't know which, was named Mark. So thanks, Mark and friends.
A classic white man's name, yeah.
There's like a 95% chance that one of them was named Mark.
The odds are in your favor that
exactly.
They were all named Mark, actually.
They definitely don't remember my name.
No.
They could not guess it. So that's my eclipse story. But now I feel like we should probably tell the listeners, like, how eclipses work.
Yeah, tell me the deal about these eclipses.
Well, actually, Corinne, I'm wondering, how do you think eclipses work?
Okay, so I know that there's 2 kinds. I know there's solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, or like maybe there's more than that, but that's what's famous to me.
Yeah, that's the broad categories, yep.
Solar eclipse is when the you cannot see the sun. Like, I know that there is this path of totality where if you're looking up, which you should not look directly at, the sun would feel like suddenly night and it would be dark and then it would go back to normal.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is because the Earth's shadow is past it. Like, I'm not quite sure why, or if the Earth is like, or if the moon is going in front of it, but something is blocking view. And then lunar eclipse is the other kind.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a shadow somewhere that blocks some light, and then the lunar eclipse is the other kind. That's a great explanation.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's it. That's all you need to know. Episode over. I can clear things up just a little bit. So you are totally right that it happens when one body casts a shadow on the other. That's how both eclipses work, but it is a different body casting the shadow each time. So just to set some baseline context here, I'm not trying to assume any knowledge. The Earth orbits the sun.
Yes.
We are on a planet called Earth. Earth orbits a star that we call the sun. It takes approximately 365 days for the Earth to go around the sun once. The moon orbits the Earth, and it takes the moon roughly 28 days to go around the Earth once. But these 3 bodies aren't lined up in a perfect flat plane. The moon's orbit around the Earth is tilted just a little bit by about 5 degrees off of the plane made by the Earth-Sun connection. This is why we don't see lunar eclipses every month, because if it was a perfectly flat plane...
Oh, sure.
I said that wrong. If it was a perfectly flat plane, then the moon would always be passing in and out of the Earth's shadow.
That makes sense, of course.
So solar eclipses happen when the moon is directly between the sun and the Earth. And when that happens, the moon ends up casting 2 shadows on the Earth. One is very small and very dark right in the center, and that's called the umbra. That's where the path of totality occurs during a total solar eclipse. And then the other shadow cast by the moon is much larger and not as dark, and that's called the penumbra, like the almost shadow, if you are interested in ancient Greek.
I did take Latin in high school and promptly failed, so...
Because it's a dead language. Who needs to know Latin?
I'm not here for it.
No.
I had a blast with my friends during that class, and that's what's important.
Yes, education is less important than social connections.
It was socialization. Exactly. Community.
And you are totally right that the lunar eclipse is just the other one. So where the solar eclipse is in the order sun, moon, earth, a lunar eclipse has the order sun, earth, moon. So the moon is actually passing into the earth's shadow from the sun.
Oh, okay.
So I have a question for you. This is a very low pressure pop quiz.
I'm nervous.
So and try to remember that orientation, that a solar eclipse is where it goes sun, moon, earth, and then a lunar eclipse is where it goes sun, earth, moon. Got that?
Okay.
Yeah. So do solar eclipses happen during a new moon or a full moon?
A solar eclipse. Okay, so I know what a new moon is because of Twilight, the Twilight Saga.
They gave very scientific explanations for it.
The second book is called New Moon because Bella's in a period of depression because Edward has gone missing, and she becomes close with, I know his name is not Jeffrey, but Jacob.
That's all I know.
With the werewolf Jeffrey. And I am pretty sure that Stephanie Meyer named this book New Moon because it was dark. Because New Moon is like a dark period.
You're correct.
Which makes me even more confused about which to pick.
You have a 50-50 shot here.
Okay, I'm going to say New Moon.
Yes!
Yay!
Yay! So, new moons happen when the moon is between the sun and the earth, and it's the new moon and it looks dark because the side of the moon that's reflecting all of the sun's light is facing away from us when it's between us and the sun. Whereas the full moon is when the moon is on the other side, so it goes sun, earth, moon, and then we can actually see the full face of the moon that's being illuminated by the sun. So a total lunar eclipse always happens during a full moon, and a total solar eclipse always happens during a new moon.
I love that. And I love that I knew that because of Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, that was a real logical progression that you went through to get to that answer. So eclipses are cool because they are a consequence of what I like to call the magic of angular size. I'm imagining that after I say that, there should be little like sparkle notes. Little twinkle noises.
Exactly.
The magic of angular size. Okay, so we know. Actually, no, I'm not assuming any prior knowledge. The sun is much larger than the moon.
I know that.
Let's start there.
I do know that.
Awesome. Great start. It's roughly 400 times larger than the moon. But the moon is also much closer to Earth than the sun is, roughly 400 times closer to us than the sun is. So since closer objects appear bigger, the sun and the moon actually appear to have the same size on the sky. We astronomers call this angular size, and if you were to measure it, both of them have a diameter of about half of 1 degree. If you were to hold your thumb out at arm's length, like give someone a thumbs up at arm's length, the moon should take up, well, the moon and the sun should take up about half the size of your thumbnail.
I'm doing it. I can't prove it, but it is covering my light. So
that's a mini moon or a mini sun. They're the same size.
Every light bulb in this apartment is just as big as the sun.
But they are, however, not perfectly the same size from our perspective. The moon's orbit isn't a perfect circle. It's slightly elliptical, which means sometimes the moon is closer to us and sometimes the moon is farther away. And when it is farther away, it looks smaller. So if you have a total solar eclipse while the moon is at its far point or apogee, as we call it, then it's not going to be the same angular size as the sun. And instead, it's going to look just a little bit smaller, and you'll see a ring of sunlight around the moon. Yeah. That is called an annular eclipse. It's a special type of solar eclipse, or a ring of fire eclipse.
I feel like that's the iconic image of an eclipse, of a solar eclipse, is like the kind of black center with light around.
Well, it is slightly different because there's always going to be light around. That's the corona of the sun.
Oh, yes, this word I know.
But sometimes the moon looks small enough that you can see like the actual edges of the sun.
I'm looking at an image now that's comparing an annular and a total, and they are very different.
Oh, what's the difference? How would you describe it?
So an annular feels more like there's just a thicker and like well-shaped ring around it, where the total eclipse has more of an aura around it.
Yes.
And then a partial eclipse looks more like a half moon, where it's like the sun has like a bite taken out of it.
Yes, nice. I will talk a bit more about the corona of the sun later. But yeah, that fluffy bit that you're seeing around the total eclipse, that's the sun's corona. And it's really hard to see that. It's like almost impossible to see that if the light of the actual sun isn't blocked. So during an annular eclipse or a ring of fire eclipse, all of the sun's light isn't blocked. So you see that ring of the outer edge of the sun, but you don't see the corona. We'll put these pictures on our Patreon. Yeah.
Yes, we will.
So you can go there, see that. Okay, now that I've told you about the magic of angular size, I have to tell you like the shocking, sad consequence of the magic of angular size.
Aww.
So, a very cool, fun astronomy fact that I often share with people if they're like, oh, what's your fun space fact? I say, oh, hey, did you know that the moon is moving away from the Earth? It moves away by about 1.5 inches every single year.
Aww.
That's true.
That's big. That's a lot, I think.
1.5 inches every year?
I mean, not really. My hair grows faster than that, but...
Right. Yeah, it's all relative.
It's just, I think I'm so used to space things like being like more imaginative of like, this is a scale I cannot experience, but it is a scale I can imagine. So to be able to imagine an inch, just like, I don't know how to place it.
Well, you if you take roughly one finger knuckle,
if I bend my finger,
that's how you place it. The moon is moving away from us by a finger knuckle every year.
I'm gonna miss it.
Okay, this is the sad part because as the moon moves away, its angular size is getting, on average, smaller, which means eventually there will come a time when the moon is so far away, even at its closest point to us, which is called perigee. So now I've given you both of the words.
Okay. Big vocab test.
Even at perigee, as the moon moves away from us, it will be too small to cover up the sun. So in about 600 million years, Earth will experience its last total solar eclipse.
Oh my God. Will they even know?
I hope so. Oh my God, I really hope so.
I hope they know it's the last one. Will we be around? I won't be around. But I
Corinne,
mean,
you and I will be...
I'm out.
Yeah, we'll be long gone. If humans are around, then I would hope they know. Because if humans are still around, I think that means that we would have like overcome...
We're pretty advanced.
Yeah, we're pretty advanced by that point, and hopefully we don't lose the ability to predict and recognize eclipses, because we've been doing that for thousands of years. I mean, ancient Babylonians 5,000 years ago were predicting eclipses.
Wow.
But yeah, 600 million years. That's all we have left. And eclipses, the total solar eclipses, used to be more common because the moon was closer to us and looked even bigger. And so there were more opportunities for the moon to pass in front of the sun. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't even think about that.
See, the fun consequences of the magic of angular size. I'm going to keep saying that. Yeah, so that's how they work. And we know that they used to be more common in the past, but the question is, how common are eclipses now?
In my head, they are not. Okay, I'm torn because they seem to be happening all the time. Like if I was willing to travel to see, but they're not happening near me often.
Yes, exactly. The solar eclipses, they're kind of elitist. They're only for a few people at a time. Whereas the lunar eclipses, they're a lot more, what, is egalitarian the word I'm looking for?
Democratic. Yeah. I don't know. I think I get,
like the moon, the lunar eclipses would let people unionize. The solar eclipses would not.
This tracks with how I imagine the personalities of the sun and the moon. The moon is for the people. The moon is for the people, and the sun needs to learn a lesson. It's time to eat the sun.
Eat the sun! Corinne, I am so going to cross-stitch that on a pillow. You have no idea.
I will tuft it into a rug as soon as I get yarn.
That's my new like protest sign. Eat the sun. You're pretty right. Yeah, they aren't that common. There are a few partial solar eclipses every year that are visible from various parts of the planet. But on average, a total solar eclipse will happen roughly every 18 months, so every year and a half.
Okay.
The path of totality for a solar eclipse is very narrow. Like I said, they're the elitists. It can be thousands of miles long, as the Earth rotates and the sun appears to travel across the sky.
Right.
But the width is very small, only about 100 miles wide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a total solar eclipse happening in 2024 that will pass through the United States. The path of totality, I know, is going to pass over Buffalo, New York. But here in Manhattan, New York, I am too far away from the path of totality to see it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's that small. And because it's so small, the path of totality is where that smaller moon shadow hits, the umbra that I mentioned before. Because that's so small, totality will only last a few minutes for a solar eclipse.
Are there parts where it would last longer?
I think it's not going to last longer than 10 minutes because the moon is so much closer to us, it appears to be moving faster. When you're on a train and you're looking out the window and the close stuff moves by really, really fast and the far stuff, you can see it for a while. The moon is so much closer to us that it's going to pass across the sun very quickly. So totality is short.
Got it.
But lunar eclipses, on the other hand, last a lot longer. A total lunar eclipse can last hours because it's the moon moving through the Earth's shadow. And because the moon is very close to us, it takes a long time for it to pass through Earth's shadow. There should be a couple partial lunar eclipses every year, but actually the total lunar eclipses are even rarer than the total solar eclipses. They happen on average every 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I know, me neither. But here's the kicker. 2022 has been a weird year. We have had 2 total lunar eclipses. There's the one that I saw talking to my neighbors and charming the hell out of them this past
selling
this November.
Those books.
Yeah, got anywhere. You gotta always be selling those books. And we had one in May of 2022 that I did not see. I was not interested.
Was that unexpected? Or does that, sometimes it lines up where we get 2 in a year?
Yeah, sometimes it
just
does
the end of days? The big question is, are you trying to tell me this is the end?
Look, if we were humans 3,000 years ago, we absolutely would have thought. Yeah. So many cultures around the world thought that eclipses were bad omens, that it was a sign that their gods were angry with them.
Well, yeah, they're freaky.
Terrifying.
Imagine going about your day in the ancient times. There's nothing to do because there's no cell phones.
All right, that's the only thing you can do. That's it.
So they're just kicking a ball around. And then it goes dark. It goes completely dark. I would start crying.
I'm sure many people did. Yeah, people really read astronomical events as omens and messages from their deities. I read a story about one solar eclipse from thousands of years ago, a couple thousand years ago. It was said that this eclipse stopped a war because as the battle was going on in the day, the eclipse happened. And so all of a sudden, day turned into night.
Yes.
And because they thought that an eclipse was their god saying hey, I'm mad at you, they saw that and they're like, oh, they don't want us to fight. We're going to stop this war.
I love that.
I know.
If only we could fake that and do it again and again.
Oh my God, that would be easier in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to cover the myths of eclipses because I'm trying to keep this a science podcast. But if you do want to know more about the myths of eclipses, especially solar eclipses, I did an episode of Fate and Fabled for PBS all about solar mythology around the world, where I talk about the ways that different cultures viewed eclipses. So go check that out on YouTube. The next eclipses. I know people are curious about it. When will the next eclipses be. So the next total lunar eclipse, we had 2 this year. The next one won't be until March of 2025.
Okay, 2025. I wonder what I'll be doing then.
Honestly, same.
I'm like, there's going to be a presidential election before that, right?
Yeah. So leading up to that presidential election, in April of 2023, we will have a total solar eclipse, but totality will mostly pass over the ocean just off of Australia, which is like the shitty thing about solar eclipses, right? Like, if it's happening in the ocean, you can't see it.
This is, again, the sun is not thinking about the people at all.
It's really not. Yeah. Whereas the lunar eclipse, it lasts hours, and basically half of the planet can see it at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, the moon is for the people.
For the people. Eat the sun. So that's the next total solar eclipse. But the next, useful total solar eclipse is the year after that, in April of 2024. And lucky for me, that path of totality will pass through the U.S., going from Texas up to the northeast, and it will pass through New York State. And I am absolutely going to go and see that total eclipse. Maybe I'll have another fun time with strange old white men.
You have to go to the strangest bar you can find. And have an amazing conversation.
Yes. Do some drunk do-si-doing. I will.
Yeah.
Corinne is getting us some tea, so I wanted to take the moment to thank all of our patrons who support the show every single month. Thank you so much to our sun-like stars. You're really holding it down in this system of ours. Lissa, Scott Reynolds, Ian O'Leary, Augustin, and Tom T. We appreciate you so much. Everyone else, you can hear your name on the show. You can support us. You can make it to our patron star chart, all by supporting us on Patreon for just about $1 per episode. And we offer annual memberships. So if you sign up for a whole year up front, you end up getting a 13% discount across the entire year. That's 1 percentage point for every constellation in the ecliptic path of the sun. You can find the star chart, our Patreon info, and more at our website, palebluepod.com, or you can go right to patreon.com/palebluepod. That is if you know you want to support us financially. If that is not an option for you, if that's not something you can do right now, that's totally fine. You're still space. We love you, and so does the universe. There are other ways that you can support us. You can rate and review the show on whatever app you use, and you can send an episode directly to someone that you think will love it. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and anything you can do to help us grow would greatly be appreciated. Before we get back to chatting about eclipses, I want to recommend another podcast for you, and this might be a bit of a shameful plug. Shameless, really. I host another podcast. It is called ExoLore. It's a show about facts-based fictional world building, and I have been hosting this show for almost 4 years. Before it was a podcast, it was a live show and a YouTube show. It has had many forms, but it is all about building and analyzing fictional worlds through a lens of science. In most episodes, I invite an expert guest or 2 or 3 to help me imagine a brand new fictional world from scratch using the expertise that we have in our brains. So I have imagined worlds that don't orbit stars. I've imagined life on moons of other planets. I've imagined a planet that gets bombarded by asteroids, even a whole universe with wacky physics. I also break down and analyze the rules of existing fictional worlds when I have guests who just want to talk about some worlds they love, like Avatars, both of them, Last Airbender and the James Cameron one, Wheel of Time, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I have made almost 100 episodes of ExoLore, and it is where I get to pour all of my nerdy little interdisciplinary love with both astrophysics and folklore. So if you like my contribution to Pale Blue Pod and you want to check out something else by me, check out ExoLore, EXOLORE, wherever you get your podcasts. All right, Corinne is back with some steaming hot mugs, so let's continue talking about these amazing astronomical phenomena. So eclipses are cool, I think we've established.
Yes, absolutely.
They're interesting, they're surprising. We know which of the eclipses is better for democracy.
We know which eclipse to vote for.
Oh, we absolutely do. 2024, vote for the lunar eclipse.
Somehow I want to vote for a solar eclipse despite this, because it is, to me, freakier.
Corinne.
I always pick my candidate based on freak level.
Ooh.
I'm kidding, guys. I vote very left.
I mean, left people can be freaky too. It depends on what you mean by freaky,
We
Corinne.
do have that figured out.
But we aren't just talking about eclipses or interested in eclipses because they're cool. They can also help us with very important science. Throughout history, humans have learned stuff about the universe and our planet by observing eclipses, both solar and lunar. So the first one is actually something that I think everyone should know about this. So humans knew for thousands of years that the Earth was spherical. Like, if you think that ancient humans thought the Earth was flat, like, most of them did not. We've known for a long time that the Earth was round, so flat earthers, get fucked. But lunar eclipses do offer up a convenient way to prove that the Earth is spherical. And in the 5th century BCE, that's before Common Era, 2 Greek philosophers named Empedocles and Anaxagoras.
God, we were good at names.
We were much better back
names.
then. I want to see a story about Empedocles and Anaxagoras just going on adventures, having deep philosophical conversations, and like probably having some really great gay sex. Like that's what I want for them.
I was gonna say they're probably great at pranks for some reason.
Huh.
I just get that energy.
That's canon now.
That's canon. I'm putting that on their Wikipedia pages.
Good.
Because it was said on this podcast, so it can be cited.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
They were allegedly good at pranks.
They were canonically good at pranks. I'm gonna raise that level. Yeah. So these pranksters, Empedocles and Anaxagoras, observed a total lunar eclipse and noted that the shadow from the Earth cast onto the moon wasn't a flat line. Who'd have thunk? And so they were like, oh, well, the Earth must be round. So if you have like flat earther acquaintances, you can wait for the next total lunar eclipse, which you will, like, there's a 50% chance you'll be able to see it. And just point at the moon and be like, look, that's a round shadow.
That's all the proof you need.
I think over the course of this show, we will demonstrate how you can prove the Earth's roundness many, many times.
I love that. I don't think I know a flat earther directly or someone who's out as a flat earther, but in 7th grade, my teacher one day showed us a video about how the moon landing was faked.
No!
And that was that day's science class. And guess what? She was always on the phone in class. Like, there was the internal phone system between the classrooms. Someone was always calling her. So I was taking a tally in the back of my notebook because I was like that kind of kid. And I told the whole class that I had been doing this, and we were approaching the number 200. She was about to be on her 200th call. And when the 200th call came, we all got up and yelled 200. And it was extremely funny.
That's only 200 calls during your class.
Yes, exactly. It was like a 45-minute period. And there's like 180 days of school year or whatever? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And then she showed me that video about the moon landing being faked. And guess what? I was like, wow, the moon landing was faked.
I am so sorry to 7th grade Corinne. I'm floored right now. I'm bamboozled. I'm flummoxed.
As if I don't have enough to deal with. I was in middle school. There's a lot going on.
There's so much other stuff. You're trying to deal with your body changing, and you have a teacher telling you that the moon landing was fake.
Exactly. My body's changing. My friends are changing. I'm feeling weird. And now everything I believed has been a lie.
I hate that. I hate that so much. We should do an episode about the moon landing and send it to her.
I know. We gotta.
This podcast is all about pettiness. Pettiness and education. Okay, so that was finding number 1. This is not in any sort of chronological order, You may think that it is because I started with ancient Greece, but don't worry. The rest will go out of chronological order. So in 2011, NASA took advantage of a total lunar eclipse and measured how quickly the moon's surface temperature dropped as it passed into the Earth's shadow. They were able to do that because they already had something on the moon to measure the surface temperature because the moon landing was not fake. It wasn't fake. So they were able to measure the temperature on the surface of the moon, and this let scientists better understand the moon's composition because different materials will cool down or heat up at different rates.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I love that.
The things we can do with science when we don't fake our landings.
Yeah, when we really go to space.
I'm going to keep harping on that because it's just unbelievable. Oh my God.
All I remember about the evidence video that she played was that they were like, well, why isn't the American flag waving? And even then it was kind of like, why the fuck would it be waving?
Why would it? Yeah. The fact that they make these big conclusions based on the faultiest of assumptions.
Oh my God. It's really wild.
It never ceases to amaze me. Or disgust me.
And impress me. Very creative. I clap in the background. Wow, very creative.
Okay, so this is the part where I am going to talk a bit more about the corona of the sun. So total solar eclipses made it possible to first notice the corona because we couldn't see it without something covering the face of the sun. And then the eclipses let us study the corona. So the corona is the outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere. It's very hot, like one of the hottest parts of the sun that we've measured, and we still don't really know why. Which I think is nice because I love that there are still mysteries for us to solve in space.
I can't keep secrets or surprises, and I need to know everything all the time. So this is definitely irritating in that way of what do you mean we don't know?
I agree. Both can be true. It's awesome and irritating at the same damn time. So the corona is very hot. It stretches for thousands of miles away from the surface of the sun, and it's very dim compared to the rest of the sun because it's not like a dense collection of gas and plasma. Mm-hmm. It's just little wispies.
Yeah, like frizzy hair.
Yeah. If we didn't have total solar eclipses, we wouldn't have had a natural way to block out the light from the body of the sun. Now, in modern times, we have instruments that can do that for us. Mm-hmm. We call them coronagraphs. And it's essentially if you're looking through a telescope, the janky but realistic version of this is if you take a button or a piece of felt, some solid circular thing, and you just put it on the part of your telescope that looks at the sun. You just put it on there and it blocks out the sun's light.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then you can study the corona. It's like forcing yourself to see an eclipse.
That is such a simple fix. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that's so funny for such a practical fix to a scientific concept, but it really is funny.
I know. It's it's almost as if they just solved it with duct tape. You could make a coronograph out of duct tape.
Okay, when you Google coronagraph, it changes it to coronavirus graph. So we have to reclaim the word for now.
We do.
And just talk about the fun parts of a sun's corona.
Are you doing it as two different words, though?
Yeah, but I'll make it one.
Yeah, make it one. It's a coronograph.
Coronagraph. Of course. Like phonograph.
Of course, yes.
Oh, wow, that's cool, these pictures.
And they can look very fancy. They can be very complicated, or they can just be like a circle of duct tape that you put on your telescope.
Yeah. That's for the people.
And notice, the sun probably does not want to be blocked. So the sun, I'm sure, is anti-coronograph.
This is how we're going to get back at the sun, everybody.
Everyone, please buy people coronagraphs for
buy
Christmas.
A telescope and then put a piece of tape on it.
We're jumping all around. In 1868, a French astronomer named Pierre Janssen. Yep,
I'm sure that's exactly right.
Pierre Janssen observed a total solar eclipse from India with a spectrograph. A spectrograph is an instrument that can take light and then split it up into different wavelengths, like a prism.
Yes, I've seen this.
Yeah, so with a spectrograph, you can look at a source of light and see essentially what elements are in the thing that produced that light. So this French astronomer, Pierre Janssen, used the spectrograph to look at the eclipsing sun and noticed a new line that had never been seen before, this bright yellow line. And it turned out that he discovered helium, the second most abundant element in the universe. Discovered it in the sun, and so they named it after Helios, the Greek titan of the sun.
Cool.
And now we know about helium, thanks to eclipses.
I love that. I went to a party city recently, back for like Halloween stuff, and they were out of helium, and it was a big deal.
We are having a helium shortage on Earth because it might be the second most abundant element in the universe, but it is not the second most abundant element here on Earth.
I'm learning that now. Sorry to the balloons.
So many birthday parties going uncelebrated in the way they used to be because of the shortage of helium. One last thing for astronomy is that total solar eclipses were used to confirm Einstein's theory of general relativity, which explains how gravity and space-time work together. Like if you have a very massive object, it is going to have a large gravitational pull or gravitational field, and it can actually bend time and space around it. That's what the general relativity tells us. And that was confirmed. It's been confirmed many, many times. But one way that they confirmed it was by observing a solar eclipse and seeing how distant starlight got bent around the mass of the sun towards us. So because most of the sun's light was covered with this natural coronagraph, we were able to see more dim light from distant stars behind the sun that were bending towards us.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just astronomy. When we study eclipses, it's not just the astrophysicists who benefit. Ecologists and biologists can use eclipses to study how animals and plants respond to unexpected changes in their environment.
Yes, this is what I was wondering before when we were talking about like how people reacted to eclipses back in the day. I'm so curious like how animals react.
Yeah, they do. Because to them it's like, oh, it's night now?
Wait a second. Yeah.
So especially biologists who study circadian rhythms, these patterns that occur roughly on a day-long cycle, circa Dian, about day.
Ooh.
They can look to see how these animals react to a sudden shift from day to night. Animals get tricked into thinking it's a different time of the day than it actually is. So a spider who usually takes apart its web at the end of a day might start doing that during a total solar eclipse, for example. And when I was in Nashville for the total solar eclipse, when it happened, for those like 3 or 4 minutes of totality, all of the bugs, because I was in a park, all of the bugs got really loud, like it was dusk.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like I'm going to use one of my favorite words in the English language. All of the crepuscular animals came out.
Whoa, I don't know that word.
Thank you. So there's nocturnal, people who are awake at night. There's diurnal, people or animals who are awake during the day. And then there's crepuscular, the people or animals who are most active during twilight.
I love that. Happy to bring up Twilight again. That's what the saga should have been called, the Crepuscular Saga.
No one would have bought those books except for me.
And the werewolf should have been called Jeffrey. And
the vampires should not have sparkled.
Unless they were going to drop the skincare routine in the comments.
Facts.
And then it would have been fine.
Unless you're telling us how often they literally bathe in glitter, I don't want them to sparkle.
Yeah. And there's a glitter shortage too right now. Helium and glitter. We'll have to tackle that another time.
All of the party favors.
I know. Christmas is about to be ruined.
Oh my.
Because balloons were a big part of Christmas. And so was glitter.
Imagine all the people whose birthday is on Christmas.
Jesus.
He was born in March.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So that's all I have about eclipses.
I love it. I can't wait to see one. Now I'm like, maybe I gotta go to Buffalo.
Let's go to Buffalo.
That would be really fun.
We can meet.
Yeah.
You can come down. I'll go up.
Okay, I'll meet you in Buffalo.
Awesome.
In 2 years.
2024. Yeah.
Okay, I have a fun game now.
Okay.
I have a little game of Would You Rather, and it's eclipse themed.
Ooh.
And I think you're going to like where we go with this.
I'm so excited.
Okay, first question is, would you rather be eclipsed or eclipse someone else?
No one should get in the way of my shine. I would much rather eclipse
Yes.
someone else.
Eclipse someone else. And you could be the moon here. So it could be like, you're for the people.
I'm for the people, yeah. Yeah, so final answer, I'd rather eclipse someone else.
I, for some reason, am leaning towards be eclipsed because in my head, I'm being eclipsed by something important.
Oh. Okay, but that's conditional, though.
It is completely conditional, and I might pull out at the last second and say no.
That's always an option. You know, Corinne, you're not the sun. You can just choose to, like, take a step to the left.
You're so right. Oh my God. That's all the sun should... Why aren't they just getting off track? Okay, next question. Would you rather experience a total eclipse of the sun or a total eclipse of the heart? And I have no idea what that is.
That's easy. That's very easy. That's very easy. As someone who has seen a total solar eclipse, loved it, and would love to see it again, and also someone who just got dumped by her fiance, no heart stuff for a while.
Yeah,
total
I'm good.
solar
I'll
eclipse.
sit in the dark. No thanks, I'm good.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, this one is, I think, is going to be a little challenging. Would you rather stare directly at an eclipse or watch the Twilight Saga eclipse once a day for a year?
Oh my God. Oh my
This
God.
is the hard one.
This is a hard one.
Although I'm realizing now I didn't differentiate between a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, okay. So following fairy rules where the wording is very important, then yeah, I would rather look at a lunar eclipse.
Yeah, I think you're totally right.
But if you had specified solar eclipse, I think because I like my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, but I also like my sanity. Yeah, I guess I would watch the Twilight Saga. And you know what? I would watch it in like a different language every day.
That's and it could be like just like ambient noise in the background while you work or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to pay attention to it, but every once in a while when Taylor Lautner is on the screen, I will look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, and well, Kristen Stewart now. But not
yes,
Kristen Stewart back
now,
then.
but not Kristen Stewart then. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
If it helps, this movie has a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not the worst it could be.
It's honestly higher than I thought it would be.
It is higher, and that's probably because of the fans.
Mm.
What's the runtime on this movie? Is that going to affect your answer?
No, it won't.
Okay, because it's 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Oh, it might. Oh, no. You know, no. I wake up every day, I turn on Twilight, and I do my chores. I clean Cosmo's litter box, I force myself to eat breakfast. Like, I can do that.
Do you think you'd have it memorized by the end of the year?
Yeah, I think if I was watching it in, like, Korean, I would have it memorized in Korean by the end of the year. You know?
Okay, I'll make sure I'll send you a copy of that movie right after this.
Thank you so much. I have a question. Would you rather never ever see a total solar eclipse or live in the town where the totality passed through?
Ooh.
And let's say like it always passed through, you know, because you have to deal with all those tourists.
Oh, like I'd always, okay. So this is a town where it would always happen.
Yeah. And then you get to see every total solar eclipse, but you also have to deal with the flood of tourists.
Yeah. But then I could never, but the other option is to never see one.
Never.
I think I would want to deal with the tourists.
Mm.
I'm imagining my life in this scenario. I probably run an adorable gift shop and I sell little eclipse items that I can craft all year. I could have a really quaint little life.
Aw. I would love that for you. And you can charge so much during eclipse tourist season. I stayed in the most disgusting motel in Nashville. Just like...
Of course.
I walked into that place and I was like, someone has been murdered here.
Oh, yeah.
And I paid like $300 a night for that hotel.
Yeah. I'm making a lot of money in this story.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important to me.
Eventually you'll get so rich that people will eat you instead of the sun.
That's a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve to go if I become that wealthy.
Cool. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, I'll see you in Buffalo.
Yeah, 2024, April. Well, it's a date.
It's a date.
So as you listeners are thinking about eclipses, whether or not you would want to be eclipsed or eclipse someone else, there's just one thing that we really want you to remember. Remember that you are space.
Yes!
Pale Blue Pod was created by Moiya McTier and Corinne Caputo with help from the Multitude Productions team. Our theme music is by Evan Johnston and our cover art is by Shay McMullen. Our audio editing is handled by the incomparable Misha Stanton.
Stay in touch with us and the universe by following @PaleBluePod on Twitter and Instagram, or check out our website, palebluepod.com. We're a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. If you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live on our website at multitude.productions.
If you want to support Pale Blue Pod financially, join our community over at patreon.com/palebluepod. For just about $1 per episode, you get a shout out on one of our shows and access to director's commentary for each episode. The very best way, though, to help Pale Blue Pod grow is to share it with your friends. So send this episode, this link, to one person who you think will like it, and we will appreciate you for forever.
Thanks for listening to Pale Blue Pod. You'll hear us again next week.
Bye.